Deep from a bunker in a top secret location. In southern Indiana comes a gathering of the Gospel Broalition. If it's religion, politics, cars, guns, cigars, and anything else flammable, we're talking about it. For men, by manlier men. Get it? Got it? Good. This is the Gospel Broalition. And here are your hosts, Pastor Lee, J.R. Robinson, and the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul.
Well, I think we have finally arrived as a podcast because we have been tagged by YouTube. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Because we put vaccine in the title. I told JR not to do it, and he did it anyway. And I knew just as soon as he did it, they're going to pop that stuff up there because you know how they are.
It only took, 11 episodes?
11 episodes.
11,
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, not that they're actually listening to what we're saying, but
care,
just because we put it in the title, they had to do that. And
all press is good press.
All press is good press.
Sure.
We got the Gospel Broalition. I'm Pastor Lee, joined on my left by the most merciful J.R. Robinson, owner of a Chinese pimp hat, if you've never seen it.
And SC squared.
SC squared, super Christian, super Calvinist.
Wow.
Most Calvinists have 5 points. JR has 27.
Or 4.
Well, yeah, or more, depending on what kind of mood he's in. To my right, the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul. Joined as always in the studio by the Bromigos, sweet Tony.
You know, it's completely off topic, but you said 27. Did you know that there's 28 Bible verses removed from the New Living Translation?
I don't use it anymore.
Not at all?
I use new. Hold on, let me do the... Cameron's a liberal. You got to talk about him.
Yeah.
Or he's going to get up mad.
He's over there fuming right now. Look at him.
He's already got his teddy bear out.
He does, and he's pointing to a place that apparently we touched him. I don't know what's going on.
And our token liberal, Shutup Cameron, who's in the back, and has already screwed up one podcast. So we're working on it.
This is number 2 for the day.
Yeah, we're training. We're expanding. So we're equal opportunity employers. Yep. So we bring on a liberal just to have him here and to make fun of him and to run our boards because apparently liberals are the only ones who are able to do that in this world because they can. Why can't somebody just copy Facebook? You guys are tech guys. Why can't we do that?
Because nobody will leave it.
They don't have the
they
right
won't.
backers.
They won't leave it.
They won't leave Facebook.
They don't have the right backers.
Well, what do you mean by backers?
The right
what do you have to
promotion.
have?
It's just not the creator. It's not just the users that put Facebook so high. It had ulterior motives or ulterior forms of backing and funding.
But every time a conservative tries it, it just bombs.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why we can't do our own stuff, especially since we know how to do it.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're the Gospel Broalition. And one of the things that we do is, and JR pointed this out, that we get to the end of our podcast and we talk about the things like, share and subscribe. Wherever that is, if I'm pointing to it somewhere on there.
Over here.
Yeah.
Subscribe? Why do I have such a hard time with that word?
Subscribe.
I'm not even on Monster Energy drink this week. I listened to that show last week. It's like, Tony, when we used to have the 45 records, or you put a 33 on and put it to 45 RPM. That's what I sounded like last week. No more Monster Energy drinks for me. I'm going to slow down. But like and subscribe.
Share
it with people. People that we always have to say this. People you want to keep as friends. Share it. But it's a good way to clear out your Facebook page. Just put it on there, and everybody will think you're just some type of knuckle dragging Neanderthal. So you'll be great. But we have been tagged by YouTube. I changed phones, went back to Samsung. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I just want to make a point concerning phone scammers. I hate hackers. I hate phone scammers more than I hate Antifa, and you know how much I hate Antifa.
It's true.
And
so much hate.
I mean, it does.
He is not the merciful,
but it is good.
Anti-mercy.
Yeah, it is good for the soul. It really is. You guys can just keep bottling it up, and then one day you're going to explode and shoot up a Walmart. And, me, I just let it out. And that's the thing about we're going to talk about a little bit about guys going to church and stuff like that. You just tell guys who are normally aggressive. You go to church, it's like you can't be aggressive anymore. You're going to be calm. Yeah.
Jesus was nothing but love.
Yeah, Jesus was nothing but love.
Even though he fashioned whips and ran people out of the temple.
That's right. Long hair Fabio looking metrosexual. And that's not Jesus at all. But this is what I've always said. I say this to my wife, and my wife's all like, please don't say that on the podcast. But I just think all you got to do, I'm going to do anyway.
Do it.
You just got to take one. It's just got to be one. Take them out in the public square. Make an example out of them. And then you don't have to worry about phone scammers anymore. People who hack stuff, I think it's rude. It's just rude. It's mean. It's rude. And yeah, Lee, you're talking about mean and rude, and you want to take them out in public square and kill them. But it's to prove a point.
Just make an example.
Make an example.
That's
You
what it
just
is.
got to
Just
do
an
one,
example.
just one phone scammer, and they won't do it anymore. But just to call people and tell them that, you know, you better do something, or they're coming to get you.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten those. You know, litigation is waiting. They're going to do this, and
The local police department has a warrant for your arrest.
Yes,
I've had
absolutely.
those before.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess
That's when you just say, okay, well, come get me.
I think next time I'll just actually call them back
Yeah.
and just go nuts like, bring it. This is the day I've been waiting for.
Why do you answer it?
Huh?
Why do you answer it?
Because if I see numbers, I don't know who it is.
I don't answer numbers. I don't.
Oh
know.
my gosh.
Well, I have friends that do
how
it
many
just
people-
for fun. They answer it and they just get a kick out of playing with those guys on the phone.
Yeah.
I let Google screen those calls.
Your Google does that?
Suspected scam. Or, suspected
I don't
scam.
know. What's Amazon doing with Alexa? I've just thought of this.
What
They're
they do?
doing something to where they're going to start sharing your bandwidth with your neighbors. It's called Sidewalk.
It's sidewalk, yeah. Which we don't have to worry about, obviously, because we don't have neighbors. But
Yeah.
so it's a very minute percentage of
It's
your
still wrong.
bandwidth.
I bet you can opt out.
You can opt
turn it
out.
off.
You can opt out, but it is turned on automatically.
Comcast has been doing that for years now.
Yeah.
Anybody that has a Comcast router in their home is doing that if they didn't opt out of it.
I don't want to share my bandwidth. I barely have enough as it is.
Yeah, we got none here in the bunker.
But if you lived in the city, you got gig a second.
It's just the fact that I'm taking Alexa out. I'm selling them. You want them?
I'll take them.
All right. I'm going to sell them. I'm not giving it to you.
Well, damn, come. Thought we were buds.
I'm not doing it.
Here we go.
He's not as merciful as me.
I'm not merciful. No. I'm not like most merciful J.R. Robinson. But I want to get rid of them. I don't trust it.
My
I don't
initials
care.
and names
I have a-
after
I
my
have a
name
guys-
get
I have a
lost.
cell phone in my pocket that listens to my every word. So what does it matter?
I know.
Yeah,
We
but
have
yours is
bugs.
smart enough to figure out what you're talking about.
Oh.
You watch those movies and you know what the government is capable of. You read those books. I need to stop reading those books. That's what gets me in trouble. All those spy
that's
novels
what
I
it
read,
is.
Tom Clancy and all that
Splinter
stuff.
Cell, yeah.
Because the government's out there and they're doing crazy crap all the time. And your phone, you laugh about it. Yeah, but they are. They're listening. Oh, yeah, the NSA is listening.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're recording it, picking out keywords and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime that we say the word like Muslim, they're picking
Well,
that
there
up.
you go. Thanks. We just got
Yeah,
tagged
if we
on
say
that one.
transgender, they're
Yep,
picking that
there's
up
another
too.
one. Yep.
And they're putting us on a list somewhere. And so I'm going to get rid of Alexa. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
That's fine.
I'm not doing it. And I feel fine. It hasn't worked in 2 weeks either.
Isn't that where you get your music from?
Nope. No.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you
No,
used Amazon Music.
Amazon app. But I don't use Alexa because she never gets it right. Alexa, turn on my music by playlist. She's like, here's the weather in Boca Raton. It's like,
See, I have
You
not.
idiot.
I do not have that problem.
I don't have that problem.
she's an idiot. But I'm the type of person I'm old. And
Yeah, that's true.
once the power goes out and Alexa has to be reset, that's it. I'm not doing it again. I did it one time. I'm not touching it again. I don't know. I miss the old days. I miss the 80s. I do.
They're gone.
They are gone, man.
Long
I just
gone.
do. You guys wouldn't have survived. You don't know what to do without having. We had to have payphones.
You remember, we're in a generation, we didn't have cell phones when we were growing
we
up.
had
Oh,
payphones.
that's true. You guys are older.
We
We're
had
older.
payphones
We
in the
didn't have
90s.
cell phones.
That's
I
true.
remember I got my driver's license. I had
Yep, I got a cell phone with my
beeper.
driver's license.
My parents
I had a
would
beeper.
page me, and
Oh,
I'd
see.
have to go to the payphone.
I got a cell phone with
We
my
talked
driver's
about the beepers,
license.
yeah.
I got my cell phone at 18, so
Yeah.
a year after you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another topic. If they're out there doing all this stuff where they're paying people $15 an hour to flip burgers, that means prices are going to have to go up.
That's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
According to our government, that's not how it works.
Oh, they're going to make their money.
Although basic economics says otherwise.
If you take somebody that's normally working for $10 an hour, you give them $15 an hour, you're going to get your money. They're not going to lose
No,
money.
they're not
going
going
to
to
raise
lose
the
money.
prices.
Well, either that or they're going to start replacing them with computers.
I think their circular logic on that is like when people are making more, they're going to be more encouraged to work for one, but then also because of that, you're more encouraged to go shop more. So because the minimum wage comes up, more people are going to buy hamburgers, so it's going
but then
to cancel out.
the hamburgers are going to go up in price because the
$4 hamburgers instead of
Well,
$2.50
businesses will have to. They'll go out of business. I mean, if you're going to sit there and raise the wages, I'm cool with that. But you're going to raise the wages for everybody in America.
But all that does is escalate all the prices. So then it's no different than what it was before. You're making more money, but you're spending more money. So it doesn't matter. I mean, that's the thing. But here's the thing: they're going to change minimum wage to $15, but yet my wage isn't going to change by $5 an hour.
It should come up equally.
That's what people don't understand. It's
so now my job is less important than the flipping burgers.
Well, now the manager at McDonald's who started at $10 or $11 an hour and is making $15. Mm-hmm. What happens to that person?
He's not going to get it.
But with your apartment building, is like if you make $10 an hour and they charge you $300 a month, you're going to get $15 an hour. But they're going to raise your rent to $450 a month.
Because,
so nothing's changing.
Because anybody that was on minimum wage working for the apartments is now going
because
to
the guy who owns the apartment buildings has to now pay more money for his
employees.
Every
service that comes in, he has to pay more money.
He has to pay more money.
Plumbers, the electricians.
It has to get transferred over to you. People can't figure this stuff out.
They're not smart.
It's how they falsely show a stimulated economy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because more money's being spent, therefore our economy's stronger.
Mm-hmm. Right. People, we spent $1 billion here. Now we're spending $2 billion, but nobody's better off than they were.
No.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about liberals. I'm the one that brought it up, Lee. Okay, thanks. Talking to myself here. What do you think the next big thing is going to be? What the next big false flag? I've heard Mike's been talking about this for a long time. I got to tell you, folks, Mike's been on the cutting edge here.
It's true. I have.
I really think the next thing's going to be an alien invasion.
I'm telling you.
I have to laugh when I say it.
Sounds ridiculous.
When you said this, I thought, that's right. An alien, they're ramping us up for that. It's like they're talking about...
Do you really... Okay, here's what I thought. No way. And then I thought, 2 years ago, did we think, maybe 2.5, did we think there was going to be a virus that was going to sweep across the world, everybody was going to wear masks and get it? No.
Well, Fauci's been talking about it for at least 3 years. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But
here you go. There,
now
June is supposed to be the month that they release some new classified information that's supposed to be pretty hard hitting. So
with the alien stuff.
So
here's the thing. So yes, just in the last couple of weeks, they have just been constantly releasing verified information of UFOs. Mm-hmm. Not only foreign UFOs, but technology we've been playing with on ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, it's just like, just look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We've kept this bottled up for 50 years, but now it's just look at it.
Why? That's the deeper question. It's not
why
okay.
Now?
What they're releasing is cool. Don't get me wrong, because I'm an alien fanatic. I love all the alien shows. I love documentaries and Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan and all that. I love all that stuff. I find it very interesting, but. Yeah, well, why are they releasing all this stuff? There's a purpose
to
behind
justify
it.
something that's coming, or to distract us from something that's already here.
That's more the key, I think.
Do you really think they would do an alien invasion?
We're stupid enough to fall for it.
Oh yeah, I agree that. Absolutely.
We fell for a virus that had a 0.101% chance of killing you, or whatever it was.
We spit out a different statistic every time.
Yeah, stupid, ridiculously low, and everybody flipped out.
That's true. I mean, we could drop watermelons from
right now
from a helicopter, and these liberals will be out there going, "It's an alien invasion." Just paint eyeballs on them.
Right now,
these ones who ride around with a mask in the car so they don't lick the windshield when they're driving.
Right now, the last 18 months have proven that this society will believe anything.
It will believe anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've been testing the entire time. Can we get them to do this? Can we get them to do this? Yes, we can.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you think we are crazy, it gets worse. I think this was set up perfectly for the Antichrist.
Explain.
All right. At 1400s.
Okay.
I go back in time to the 1400s. I land in the middle of the field with a helicopter, a lighter, and a cell phone.
I'm
a god.
A god, yes.
I'm a god.
Point, yes.
Mm-hmm. Somebody comes in, pops down in a spaceship. That's all the Antichrist would have to do. Now, I'm not saying he's going to. That's all he would have to do. Come down in a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Claim to have this advanced technology where he can raise people from the dead, cure cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody you know, even Sweet Tony and Shutup Cameron, would worship this dude. They would.
Yeah.
Even the elect would be deceived. They would.
Revelation.
If he had this technology, if he comes down the middle, I mean, these people throw their mask on. Even when the government says you don't have to wear one.
Yeah, they're still wearing it.
They're still wearing it. You don't think these people wouldn't worship some alien being that came down?
Oh, they would.
Absolutely. And they say they have that places like China and stuff like that have the technology to simulate an alien invasion.
I think we've had that technology for years and years.
You think
so? I think so. Once again, if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar worked on Area 51. I won't get into all the specifics.
That's a great show.
But some of the things he saw, and so I actually went back and watched another guy that is a professional in body language, and he watched that video, and his overall thing with a whole hour of watching Bob Lazar's body language and everything he did, he said there's two things here. Either what he said is 100% accurate because his body language and everything shows it, or he believes
that it was accurate.
100% of what he just said. He said there's two things that happened, but he said whatever he's saying, he believes 100% that's what he saw.
Yeah.
And Bob Lazar was talking about, the new element, that element 115 or whatever it was, and other things that, not earthly, don't know where they came from, whether it be a spaceship, a meteor, whatever, that they've had technology for a long time for hovering crafts and stuff like that. But you think, the SR-71, when was that made?
The 70s.
And we didn't know about it till what, the 90s?
I don't know.
And how fast it hit
how
off
fast
whatever
it was,
and,
right.
and stealth. The stealth
may have been early
fighter,
in the 70s.
The stealth fighter was early 90s when we found out about it. They've had technology with satellites. In the 70s, they had a satellite that you could set a penny down on the ground, and it could zoom in and see the date on the penny on the ground from outer space.
That was interesting because I do remember, like, when the F-117, the B-1 came out, it was like, where did we all of a sudden get this stealth technology?
Exactly. It's been around for...
And it just popped in there.
But think of the advancement we've had since just the 90s in our technology that we see. What do you think the military's been cooking up?
Oh, gosh.
So, once again, I think they have the technology. I think they've had it for a while. Whether it's alien, whatever it is, they've got it.
Yeah.
Don't know where they got it from, but they've got it.
Well, now they're building up a reputation to where we can blame the fact that we know how to do this on some invasion that either did happen or is about to happen.
Because we don't know about the technology, so if they come out, if they had this technology, all they got to say is this advanced alien, and we're like, okay. Makes sense, right?
That's all it would take for if we had contact with aliens. And look, I don't know what I read a great book about that actually. And it wasn't a weird book at the time, but it was actually about aliens being fallen demons. Because that would be one of the things right there that would draw more people away from God than I think anything, the discovery of an alien race. Because people would be like, well, we're not the only ones in the universe.
I can see that, but to me, it would not. Just because
it's not going to bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me because, if God created us, why can't... The Bible doesn't say he didn't create anything else.
If God created life on 50 worlds, but just decided to do his redemptive plan through the earth, that's I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I don't know what I feel about it.
Oh my gosh, you could have...
I don't want to put the tinfoil hat on.
You
that's
could
what I'm
put the
saying.
tinfoil hat on. You could have different Bibles, different redemptive plans for different planets.
Oh, no. I'm not going there.
That's dangerous ground.
You thought about it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's dangerous ground.
You thought about it.
We are so sorry, Calvinists. We are not. We are not going down that rabbit hole.
The SCs of YouTube are going to be all over that.
I think... I don't know what to believe when I see this stuff, official stuff released from the Navy, and hear Navy pilots talk about this stuff. Guys who are trained, guys who are smart as tacks, and they're talking about this stuff that they can't explain. I think maybe what they see is real. I don't know if it's from another world.
That's my stance on it. I don't either way. What they're seeing is real. Yeah. I fully believe what they see is real, whether it's from outer space or whether it's the military. I think more along the lines of it's us. I think we have the technology. I think we do.
So I think we're naive to think that God created all these planets and only put people on one.
Well, yeah, I'm in that line too. I'm not saying there's nothing out there, but
right. On a related note, and we'll continue to talk about this, but I sit there and I watched. But when I watch images, and I've looked it up several times, you ever see images from the Hubble telescope? you get when you see that stuff, you get overwhelmed with the presence of God.
Mm-hmm.
You just do.
Think how little we are,
and just how small and insignificant we are.
Yes, and His entire,
and that the God of the universe chose to love us. That it's amazing to me. But I think there are, as Carl Sagan would say, billions and billions of stars. Yeah. There are billions probably of planets.
Yeah.
That are out there, which shows the awesomeness of God just speaking this stuff into existence.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is naive just to say, okay, we're the only ones who have this. I mean, there could be. It's not out of the realm of possibility to say there could be 35 Earths that are out there.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean,
we don't know. And we
don't.
Never will.
We don't know. We trust what the Bible says, and right now, I believe that God created the Earth to hold the human race. Mm-hmm. And we're the only ones that are out there. That's what I believe right now. And because the Bible doesn't tell me anything differently.
True. So,
speaking of race, I'm so
careful.
I don't care anymore. I really don't. I mean, I'm gonna talk about blacks, whites, Hispanics. It don't bother me. You know why it doesn't bother me? I figured it out. The reason why it doesn't bother me is because I understand there's only one race, the human race, and that's true. Even Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. Bless her heart, said, there's only one race, the human race. If you're listening, this is what you need to understand. There is only one race out there. It's the human race. And when somebody says you're a racist, then you say to them, you're an idiot. Because there's only one race. Like, who am I racist against? The inhabitants of Uranus? I mean, it's like... Who am I? We have to get Uranus said at least one time.
I love that. That's awesome.
But
now there still are racists, even though there's only one race.
There's only one. Well, how can you do that? How can you be?
Because you could still, even if you think there's only one race, there are still people that treat different races or different colors of skin.
That's ethnicities. That's a difference.
Okay, well then it's ethnic racism.
No, Becky.
Think about that one for a second.
Racism is a nonsensical word, just like nonsensical. I mean, it doesn't exist. Racism is like supercalifragilistic. It's not a word.
But it's always asking your race when you're filling out an application.
Yes.
All the applications are
all the applications say what is your race. It should say ethnicity.
Human.
Yeah.
I'm right. From now on, when it says race, what's your race? It's a human. That's what I am. And I learned, all this stuff, this is going to be weird. Not to you guys. I learned all this stuff from Mass Effect, one of the best video games ever created.
Agreed.
No argument there.
Okay, thank you. All right.
We actually all agreed.
Yeah.
Because Mass Effect, if you've never played the game, what Mass Effect does a great job. I don't know if they even tried to do this. But in Mass Effect, you have the human race. And then you have the Turians, the Solarians, the Krogan, the Asari, other races. And it's actually interesting because you have a character that's on your ship named Ashley who is an actual racist.
Because
she's not racist.
Doesn't like the other.
She doesn't like
aliens.
She doesn't like the other races.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's not racist against
other humans,
black people, Asians, none of them, no other humans, but she's racist against actual other races.
People from other planets.
Right. So when people say, well, we need to talk about racism, it's like, we're talking about something that doesn't exist. Have we discovered another race of something, sentient beings out there that we don't know about? The Geth are hanging out somewhere.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that unless you're a Mass Effect guy. But... So racism, we're going nuts about racism, and it doesn't exist. When the human DNA is, if I sit down with the Hodge twins, we're 99.9% similar in our DNA.
Yeah.
And so the difference that we're having is about our culture and about our ideology. Yes. It's not about skin color. So when you hear the term racism, just laugh. And when you talk to somebody about it and they say, well, you're a racist, say, well, how many races are there? The black and white, Latinos, and it's like, no, there's one race. It's a human race. And once you can get them to understand that, then we can understand that our differences are ethnic and ideology.
Yeah.
It's not skin color. It's not that at all. And that's why, we guys, So when you finally understand that, like us, you don't see people as white, black, Hispanic. You see them just as people. Mm-hmm. And you may disagree with a black person because of her ideology, but there's another black person that you agree with because they're conservative.
Yeah.
You see everybody part of the human race. That's who we are. Rosa Parks, way ahead of her time, just to be able to figure that out before anybody else did. There's no such thing as racism. Just take it out of your vocabulary until we discover aliens.
which could be very quickly.
Yeah,
which might be next week.
Yeah.
But it started way back just in Bible literature, because anytime somebody's talking in the Bible, they just start talking about this color person or this color person. There's no adjectives in front of the word person. There's just people.
Yeah,
it's just people. The people will tell you, and this is what's funny, because like the liberals will say that gender is a societal construct.
Gender is a social thing now.
A social construct, all right? Yeah. So is racism. That's a social construct because it doesn't exist. And the same people they'll well, you can pick your gender, but you're a racist. It's like, okay, you're doing the wrong thing there. I think a lot of this racism, if you look at it, one of the reasons we had slavery was because of racism, because of this something that somebody created, because they said that black people are not human, they're a different race.
Yeah.
And so and that's what the Nazis did with the Jews. They're not humans, they're a different race.
They dehumanized them.
So racism, when you talk about it, it actually dehumanizes people. And so stop talking about racism. That was pretty good. That was my teaching moment.
Brilliant.
Thanks, buddy. I like that. Everything I learned in life, I don't ever touch me.
He's the merciful.
I know. Everything I learned in life, I learned from Mass Effect.
There you go. There's a lot to learn.
I watched this show called Salvation. I thought it might be a Christian show, but it's not.
Sounds like it would be, but
the world's being destroyed by an asteroid. They're going to make an ark.
Sweet.
Oh.
The ark's called Salvation. That's where they get the name.
Oh, yeah.
They can only carry 160 people. None of us are probably going.
I saw this in your notes.
Who they're going to put on there?
About it.
They're going to put Barack Obama, somebody like that, on there, who is an absolutely worthless turd of a human being. They're going to put him. He's a community organizer, and they're going to stick him on there. That's who they're going to put on there. Don't let liberals do it. And that's what they did. They had a think tank where they're trying to decide who's going to do it. And all they had was graduates of Harvard and Princeton. And who are they going to put on there? A bunch of eggheads. They're not going to put up people on there who can actually get stuff done.
Yeah. They're going to have a bunch of people drawing plans, but nobody to pull the plans off.
They're going to get to Mars, and then they're going to get off the ship, and it's going to be like, does anybody know how to build a house? No, but we can sit around and talk about the philosophical implications of it. They're not going to have anybody like that. An alien form comes up, and hey, can you guys fight? No, we don't believe in guns. We left them back on Earth. I don't know who I would take. I take you guys.
And so many different, so many of each ethnic group would have to be in there too, right?
Oh, you'd have to have diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have diversity.
Is it something like that?
Okay, why is it that we always want diversity when it's a good thing?
Not when it's a bad thing?
Well, like when you see pictures of D-Day and all those bodies laying on the beach, nobody says, you know what, I wish there were some more Hispanics down there.
That's true.
That's true. Like pictures of the gas chambers, it's like, where's the black people?
Yeah.
The gays and lesbians are underrepresented in the gas chamber. Nobody ever says that. So everybody, they only want diversity when it's something good, and when it's something bad, nobody wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't get that. I just saw some. I thought it was funny. I had that actually in my notes. Because I thought about that earlier. You did a great segue, by the way. We're getting so much better at this stuff, and so much better is a terrible phrase. Don't use that.
Yeah,
so much better.
So much better. I don't even know if that's right. It's also funny. This guy was sitting out there.
You also ruin the segues when you point them out.
Yeah,
I know. Okay. Just forget what I said. We're gonna pineapple that. So they had this video of this guy. I just thought it was hilarious. They had this little Antifa dude. He has an AR-15. He has to have a strap around his shoulders because his arms are too weak to actually hold it up. So he's sitting there with his AR and he's got his baklava, whatever they call it.
That's a dessert, baklava.
Oh, it is, isn't it? What's that thing they wear around their face?
I don't know.
Okay,
sorry.
He was wearing a dessert around his face because he's stupid. Well, at least he knows how to pronounce baklava, Lee. But he's sitting there and he's doing it. And you got these BLM rally. You got all these white people there, because they go out to the BLM rally. And so one of the black guys has got the megaphone out there. He's going like, you know what? You see a white person, let's kill all white people. Kill all white people. And if you're a white person in that crowd, they're like, yeah, let's kill them. They were, man. It's like, we should kill all white people. And all the white people are like, yeah, let's kill all of them. Because they are so incredibly stupid that nobody can stop and go, wait a minute, we're white people.
Wait a minute, we're white.
It'd be like me and being in a group where some guy goes, kill all pastors. And we're like, yeah, let's go.
That reminds me of the Chappelle Show episode where he was
the Black Klansman.
It's called indoctrination.
The Black Klansman's like, kill all black. That's right. Let's kill all of them. That was hilarious. Kill all white people. They're sitting there cheering it on. Oh, my gosh. They're so funny. I just love to make fun of liberals because they're just so funny. They are. They're so cute and cuddly.
You can make them so
sense
mad.
of hypocrisy. None.
And I know how to draw them out.
How?
No, apparently I'm just good at it in Facebook.
Well, you need to get rid of them like I did on my Facebook page. I don't have any liberal friends. You say one negative thing to me, I unfriend you.
Wow, that's not very merciful.
I do. It's because it's my Facebook page. Apparently you post something on there, and you say, "Well, Lee, I really don't agree with your assessment." It's like, oh, unfriend.
Block.
It's my page. Everybody on my page has to agree with me.
It's your Facebook.
It's my Facebook, and so you don't like it, go to your Facebook page and talk about me, but don't do it on my Facebook page. So we've been meaning to talk about this for a couple of weeks. We wanted to talk about man camp.
Oh, the joy of man camp.
I found this online. I found this online one time, this thing called man camp. And look, I am totally supportive of anything that's that's involving men's ministry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am. Getting men into church. We want to devote, they don't know this yet, so I'll say but they will eventually. We want to devote a whole episode to talk about how to get men to come to church. I think we need to do a whole episode on that.
I'm going to have to reread that book.
Series on that.
We are going through a book in our men's Bible study. Well, it's not men's Bible study. It's a book study. Gosh, man, I feel bad now. Lee, you don't open your Bible? Well, we didn't this time. But we talked about the Bible. Does that count? But it's a book about why men hate going to church. One of the best books out there. And the church is just geared toward women. It is. And because it's geared toward women, because Christianity is geared toward women, and it is.
Yeah.
It is a chickified religion. No doubt. Y'all agree?
Yeah, that's kind of like a catch-22, though.
Mercy. See it?
No.
There it was.
Yeah, I saw.
No,
I see it.
This is not a good
mercy
thing. This is not something I support, nor is it a good thing.
It was. Mercy went off. Boop. Mercy meter.
No, I'm saying that culture, typically, whether it's the men's fault or not, the men have stepped away. So the churches, in an attempt to grow numbers, have approached the wives and the children.
Yes, I don't think it was that way in the very beginning.
Right.
It wasn't.
But
especially when Paul was heading the church.
Yeah.
It wasn't that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't geared toward women when Paul was heading the church.
Right.
No.
And we've always said with our church, it's you get the men, you get the families. Mm-hmm. We've always believed that. And so we have a lot of good godly men in our church. We have a lot of good godly women. But we do not cater toward women.
No.
We just don't. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because we're not as popular as we could be. Which is a good thing.
That's a good thing and a bad thing too.
Yeah, I know. But so because the church is so chickified, they have to do this thing called man camp.
Yeah.
And so what man camp is, you pay money to do this.
I still find it insulting.
All right.
That you have to pay money to do it.
Okay, so
go ahead.
You pay money. You go to this camp. You have to ruck there. Rucking is I don't know if rucking is actually a word.
Backpack,
sleeping
backpack, stuff like it. They won't. You have to bring your own food, and stuff like that. And look, I'm as manly as anybody gets, but I don't take a dump in the woods. I just don't. And, but that's why I will never go to man camp. Especially I don't want to be in a camp rucking with guys that I don't know, because they might try to ruck too closely. So. I'm a little worried about that. No, that's rutting. I'm sorry. That's
rutting.
Sorry,
and
I got
rucking
my words confused.
are two different things there.
Okay, so I take back everything I said about them. No. So you don't do it. But here's the cool thing about it. They provide beer and water at man camp.
And they cut trees down.
With hand saws. So I'm telling you, any of you guys out there who want to go cut trees down, You pay me, come to my property.
Absolutely.
I got 5 acres you can clear out right now.
Yeah.
Tons of brush. We'll put it all together, make a big fire, and we get done and drink beer.
And get to use a chainsaw.
Yeah,
instead of a handsaw.
But they go to I guess to go to a studies. It's big. What it is, and like I said, I have nothing against it whatsoever. I just think it's a bunch of yuppies in the suburbs.
It's yuppies, yeah.
Who have to get out there and do this stuff, and that's cool. And they do arm wrestling and push-ups, and I support it 100%. But Mike and I kind of laugh about it because we do this every week. This is what we do.
It's like, they're cutting trees down.
They're cutting trees down.
Beer around the campfire.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hello.
Yeah, we drink beer around a campfire every weekend.
Yeah, it's like, what's the big deal?
That's what we do. So I understand, but I just thought it was weird because they just had we're gonna have beer.
Yeah, with no justification. No disclaimer.
Yeah. No, nothing at all.
Or small print.
I think they do it to keep the legalists out. I do
see that.
But it's the simplest thing you can do.
Oh yeah,
you put beer on there. They're just like, I'm not going to that.
Yeah, you're gonna get
good on you then.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not. They got beer there, and I think it's brilliant.
That's actually I didn't think of that point until now. I actually, yeah, makes
that's the one thing you could do.
Yeah.
Other than say, we're going to get naked and dance around a fire. That's
going
to
keep people
away.
That would probably draw some other unwanted attention.
That would draw the wrong crowd. But that would draw the effeminate metrosexuals.
But when you read it, what was the first thing that crossed your mind?
Beer. Sorry.
Yeah. No, when they so blatantly and nonchalantly said there'll be beer, though, what was the first thing?
The first thing crossed my mind about it was people actually pay to go somewhere to cut down wood. I mean, that's to cut down trees.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing.
And do brush.
Okay, it kind of looks fun, but then I'm like, you have to pay to go there and do that?
We've spent the last 2 years focusing on legalism. Had we not done that, if you were just another man reading that, another Christian man,
100%
you would have instantly
said,
jumped
that's not Christian.
Yep.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I never would have touched it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had beer there.
Yep. So, you can't do that.
Can't do that. Mm. I don't know. I just think it's cool.
It is. It's like you said, for all the yuppies in the city that don't get a chance to get out and do fun stuff like that. Yeah.
But I think
for us, it'd be like, oh, okay, well,
it's half and half. So I've taken my kids to a man camp before, several years actually. It was designed for fathers and sons to bond and get along. And
they have beer there.
They did not have beer there. But here's the thing. It's fairly normal for us. We don't do a lot of outside stuff, but I spend time with my kids. So that wasn't like prying to do that. But we met several families that looked like they never spent any time together.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. I have nothing against it. I think it's fantastic.
No, I said it's half and half.
Yeah. But I think
that's the mercy.
Men have this desire, especially Christian men. And what is it with pancake breakfasts and Christian men? Did I miss that memo somewhere?
They always do that in men's ministry.
I like pancakes.
I know.
What's wrong with pancakes?
I don't know what it is.
I love me some pancakes.
I don't know. I never equated pancakes and masculinity.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, pancakes. That's what lumberjacks eat.
Are they loaded with testosterone?
I like waffles.
That's what the lumberjacks eat. They're manly. They cut trees down. So.
But that's what guys do. Guys like, we're going to have a men's ministry. What are we going to do? Once a month, we're going to eat pancakes. That's what they do.
I mean, I'm game.
They don't do anything else.
Yeah, that's true, but I like eating pancakes.
I want to do a men's ministry. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to go out and kill something.
Then eat it.
Not somebody, just something. So, don't. Yeah, I get misquoted a lot.
There's another strike.
I know it, but guys need to do this, and these yuppie guys who live in these suburbs, they need to get out there. They need to be manly. They need to sit around with other men. And like I said, we do it every week, so it's not a big deal. I'm not ashamed of it either. I used to be. I smoke cigars. I'll have a beer, adult beverage every once in a while. I don't feel bad about it at all. I don't.
No, you shouldn't.
JR have his wine cooler because he's a metrosexual.
Well, I don't drink wine coolers, but you can put that on me. Just add that to the end of my name with all those initials.
Well, we talk about this all the time, that you get in there and like I said before earlier, you get people, you get Christian. You get guys, and they come up, and you get them saved, or whatever you want to call it. They know they want to follow Jesus, and then we tell them. And I thought that book said it well. Mm-hmm. They just need a personality transplant after
you're telling
everything everything that you knew as a man.
Yeah.
Growing up, everything that makes you a man, everything that you aspire to be in your life, you got to totally remove that to follow Jesus. Mm-hmm. And that's a bunch of bull. It just is. I mean, there's just. We're sitting around with a bunch of godly guys the other night. All you guys are godly. We're sitting on the front porch. and somebody's up there, and this is what guys do, but Christian guys can't do this, and somebody was talking about somebody, and the last name was Bish. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And one of the women was talking, and she goes like, "I think he's the son of a Bish." And every guy in the group was like, "That's son of a Bish."
Such a pineapple.
I know, but I said Bish. I didn't. I just said, but
Bish.
Right, but normal Christian churches, you
they would have avoided that like the plague.
Yeah, if I did that in men's ministry, if I just stood up for my pancakes, and said, "Oh yes, son of a Bish, I get it now." Ushers, they probably have a sergeant.
Please escort this man to the door.
Sergeant of arms at the pancake breakfast. Can you escort Mr. Brown out? We no longer call him pastor because he said that word. So they do this stuff. We just take men and we need bad men. You need us, folks. You want us on that wall. You need us on that wall. But the church doesn't need bad men per se, like bad, horrible.
Yeah.
People who are men who are immoral. But you need bad men who will say things that you don't want to say, and men who will let you point fingers and say, "I'm not like them," and they're okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's the way we are. You can sit there and go, "I'm going to send this video to you, but understand I don't share any of their opinions whatsoever, but I just think they have some interesting points." You can do that with us. We don't care.
Yeah. We don't really.
We can be the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd probably be pretty hard to agree on all of our opinions.
We
all do. Everybody in this room does. That's why we're the Broalition, baby.
I don't know. He's 50-50 on a lot of stuff.
Well, we disagree
on.
with things, and then pretty soon they find out that they're wrong, and they agree with me. But I think there's
it's called conceited.
I think we need to do a new men's ministry. It's cocky. If you can do it,
confident is the word you want.
It's confidence. If it's not bragging if you can do it. But there needs to be a re-examining of our men's ministries within church.
Oh my! Apparently, Wick's about to go on a rampage. His dog is dead.
Oh no!
Now Wick is dead.
John Wick is down. Just stop, JR.
Have you been drinking, JR?
I have not.
I know it. Somebody needs to check. It looks like urine anyway. I don't know what you're drinking over there. What is that?
It's tea.
Oh, we were having a nice intellectual conversation. You want to continue, Mike?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what JR is doing over here. We were talking about man camp.
We were done with man camp.
We were talking about how I was right and you guys are always wrong.
Yep.
All right.
That was right.
Yeah.
See, I'm right. I was right.
He is right.
But we said we're going to talk about drinking. All right. And so you'll have to timestamp this because nobody cares about the earlier stuff. But they do need to hear about the alien. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? I was going to do shorter this week.
40 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So you got
perfect.
20 minutes left.
All right. So, because we know how guys are, we talked about that. Anything past 30 minutes is like, that's too long for me. Yeah. If I can't listen to it while I'm taking a dump, I'm not going to. I've said dump twice in one episode.
You haven't said suck it yet, though.
I haven't said, no. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to force it.
Okay.
It has to be a good moment.
All right.
So, but I think you just, like I said, you need bad men. You do. And you just need men to do. There are things that need to be said in Christianity that people won't say because they're too nice.
Yeah. And
so you need the bad guys to say that stuff, and we need more of those guys.
Yeah.
And we just do. But talking about man camp and the beer and stuff like that, and I'm hesitant to do this stuff about drinking because I have a young son and a daughter.
I have 4 of those young sons.
And neither one of them drink. I would feel horrible if I gave them a license to go out to do it and then develop a problem with it. That would bother me. So I don't, as Paul talks about 1 Corinthians 8, 1 Corinthians 10, I don't use my freedom in Christ to cause a brother to stumble. Mm-hmm. So when we want to talk about it and just have a little honest conversation about it, and we don't want to promote it, and we don't care if you don't drink. If you don't drink, don't drink.
Yeah. Good on you.
Yeah, but that phrase you used there, your freedom in Christ, that's what most people believe they don't have anymore, or what society thinks we don't have because we're Christian.
Well, it's a book of rules. It's a book of don'ts instead of a book of do's. That's how most people look at the Bible.
Right. So if you don't drink, that's fine. But understand, if you're not going to drink because you're convicted by it, I'm cool with that. I'm fine. I'm a former alcoholic, which I am a former alcoholic. These people, guys, who quit drinking are like, I'm still an alcoholic. It's like, no, I'm not. I got saved. Holy Spirit cleansed me of that. I'm free from that. If you have a problem with it, that's cool. I'm with you, man. I support you 100% in what you're doing. If it bothers you, I'll never drink around you. Mm-hmm. But when you turn around and you judge me because I will have an adult beverage, then you and I have problems. Mm-hmm. Because this is what Jesus was talking about. Judge not lest you be judged, for the same measure that you use to judge others will be used to judge you. And so when you're going to do this, then you don't cry about it when somebody does it to you. But there's nothing in the Bible that tells people not to have a drink.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing. Drunkenness.
Now there's
the drunkard will not get in the kingdom of heaven. Drunkenness is bad. I know that because I've been drunk, done stupid things. Yeah. It's what drunkenness leads to. Mm-hmm. That's why there's a warning against drunkenness. Don't be a drunkard, because most of the time a drunkard is somebody who just sits at home, drinks, doesn't work, doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right? Worthless to society. So there's nothing against drinking. The first miracle that Jesus did at a party, people were drinking. Mm-hmm. When we see that mental image of that scene, Jesus is standing in the corner with his arms crossed.
Yeah, not drinking.
Drinking, watching everybody else drink.
The show, The Chosen, did a very good job of showing how that might have transpired. And, Jesus is out there and he's dancing with the wedding
was he
party.
Drinking?
And yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. But he was drinking, what was that? He might have been drinking water, but he had a cup.
But what's interesting about the story is that the guy goes to him after Jesus turns the water into wine and says, "Why did you save the good stuff? Mm-hmm. Why did you save that for last? Because usually you do the good stuff at the beginning, and then when everybody starts, everybody gets toasted, and you bring out the nasty stuff, and they don't care about that time. Yeah. So obviously, somebody at the party was drunk. Mm-hmm. They were drinking. They were feeling pretty good.
I'd be willing to say a majority of them.
Just think about what wedding parties were back then. They were.
It was
days.
It was day-long celebrations, right?
Yeah.
And everybody, it was different back then. Their wine wasn't like our, the wine.
It was 10 times stouter, more than likely.
Their water was bad.
Yeah, their water was bad. Not good.
But they're just like, the wine was not like it is today. Then why the warning against drunkenness? If you could not get too drunk, why warn against it?
Yeah, I have no doubt it was a little bit stouter back then than it is today.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I shared on Sunday night when talking about this, and when at Pentecost when Simon Peter, and they're thinking all the apostles who are speaking in known languages at the time. They're thinking they're all drunk. And Simon Peter responds to him, but he responds. He doesn't say, "No, we don't drink."
No. He said, "We're not usually drunk by this time of day."
He says it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We're not drunk till 6 o'clock in the evening.
If it's 6, now maybe you got an argument. Yeah, maybe. But it's 3 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning, we're not drunk.
Yeah.
He didn't say we don't drink.
Yeah.
And so, and Paul was talking about, so there's nothing. If you want to be biblical, if your church wants to be biblical, you have to say there's no prohibition against having a drink.
No.
There's not.
But
and if you think we're liberal, we're not liberal. We're extremely conservative in our theology. We're not liberals, but if you have to be intellectually and biblically honest and just look at it and say, even if you don't drink, just say, well, there's no prohibition against somebody sitting around a fire having a beer. Mm-hmm. Well, you support those organizations. My gosh, man! Every time you get from Amazon, you're supporting Planned Parenthood.
You support an organization you don't like, whether you know it or not. I mean, you cannot live in today's world and not.
Right.
You summed it up good Sunday night when you were talking about how Paul was talking about it. Even though, just because I can do something, basically, it doesn't mean it's good for me. Mm-hmm. There are circumstances where drinking is bad for people.
Yeah. Right. Not all things are beneficial. Not all things build up. I will not become a slave to anything. I won't cause my brother to stumble. I mean, there's stipulations that go along with it, but I just went through this in my life where I just started asking myself. I think Christianity is not only spiritual, but I think it's logical. A lot of things make sense in Scripture to me. There's nothing really in there that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And so when I started looking at it from a logical standpoint, I just couldn't understand some things that I had been taught when I was younger. I mean, but people like, you don't need to be drinking a beer and over here popping nerve tablets, like they're M&Ms.
Yeah. Or going out and gossiping to the neighbor.
Yeah, I go out gossip to your neighbor, but that's okay. Yeah. But having, if you see me, and people are so weird about it, and it's like if I'm at a festival or something, and somebody I work with, comes up and they have a beer, and they're like, I have to go to the Porta John, hold my beer, and we're like,
put that down.
Yeah, you can't touch that.
Let me pray about this, Bob. But how many of you have taken the beer and you're going to sit it down on the ground? I mean, you would.
Especially 5 years ago? Absolutely. Yeah. Today? No.
Yeah. But if it's in like a red cup or something like that, and you got a little kid to you, one of the church people walking, you're like, throwing the kid's face. Yeah. Sorry, kid, but you're saving my spirituality. But we do that. I mean, but that's what you do. You go to the festival and you see, I see Sweet Tony over there with a beer can in my hand. It's like, oh my God, Lord. What's happened to Tony?
Yeah, he is just a drunkard.
He used to love Jesus. Now look at him,
backsliding and falling off.
Yeah, yeah. He just sat over with the beer like what?
What?
Yeah, but we don't. We immediately judge people.
Yep.
Now they can be over there like Mike was saying. But they can be sitting there gossiping one another.
Yeah, it's only on alcohol. You don't do it on anything else, really. I mean, maybe smoking. If you see somebody smoking a cigarette, you just automatically jump to that too.
I'm gonna tell you something. God hates the dissension that you're spreading in the church worse than you having a beer.
Yes.
Thus saith the Lord.
Oh my! Write it down.
Write it down, buddy.
Write it down.
Well, there's 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 are abomination to him. 1 who sows discord among the brothers. So the next time you want to sit there and you want to spread a rumor about somebody drinking a beer at the church, you're spreading discord among the brothers.
Yeah, you might want to think about that.
You might want to think about that before you do that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're not advocating it at all. But I thought about this from a logical standpoint. If somebody is on a deserted island, all right, that means you're alone on the island for those people who live in New Harmony.
This is Haji.
So if you're on a deserted island,
is this Haji? So
okay, no, Haji's going to hell unless he's elected.
Well, is it? So I'm on a deserted island.
Okay.
With my knowledge I have now, I'm on a deserted island.
The Hoosier Hillbillies on a deserted island. No, it's not. It's not for you. It's for them. Okay.
Okay.
So the Hoosier Hillbillies on a deserted island. A whiskey barrel washes up.
He's drinking.
His first thing is, "Thank you, Jesus."
Yeah, he's drinking that thing.
All right.
Makes my time a little more enjoyable.
He's opening the top of it with his forehead.
Yep.
I mean. All right. So the Hoosier Hillbilly. He's on a deserted island. He's by himself. He drinks. He has a little too much to drink. He gets drunk. Wakes up the next day. He's still on a deserted island by himself. Has he sinned?
Yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong while he was passed out, was he?
I'm going to say no.
But if you're a legalist, you would have to say, yes, you sinned.
Well, it says it warns you against drunkenness.
Yeah.
But why does it warn you against drunkenness? Is it just because you shouldn't get drunk?
Impairs
or because
your
of
judgment?
What you do when you're drunk?
Yeah, impairs your
But
judgment.
a legalist would have to say, yes, he sinned because he drank.
And he got drunk.
No. He drank.
Oh, that's wrong.
Because I know people, I went to churches with these people who would say, just the fact that he's on a deserted island, whiskey barrel washes up, and he's like, I'm not going to partake in that.
Get behind me, Satan.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to sit over here and transcribe the New Testament on a coconut. So he's not going to have anything to do with that whatsoever. But I just think, if you have a married couple who's sitting around a fire and, they have a bottle of wine and stuff like that and drink a little more than they should, but all they do is go up and have a little pickle tickle and go to sleep.
Pickle tickle. Okay, I like that. What was wrong with that?
He doesn't even know how to go on from that.
He's been waiting to put that in there.
No, what is wrong with that? That's from a League of Their Own, by the way.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, so you haven't seen the movie. Yeah. But if that happens, what have they done wrong?
Exactly.
But you can't. That's the issue. You're just like,
I don't want to answer that because legalism.
Legalism.
Yeah, I mean,
because the people are just
no, it's different. Had they, because of their condition, gotten a big argument and he slapped his wife.
Absolutely. That's the drunkenness.
Or if they got in a car and tried to drive somewhere.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you can't control it, then you don't start.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you don't know when you won't be. No, yes, you do.
Yeah,
yes, you do.
Yeah.
look, if you get drunk and beat up your wife, you have issues before you drink.
100%, yes.
You do, and you need your crack kicked too. But anytime you want to get drunk and beat up your wife, find me. I'll be your huckleberry.
I'll be your huckleberry.
And so, I think that's issues before the drinking. There's something else going on there.
Yep.
And like I said, we don't care if you drink. We don't care at all. We're not, but it's just don't judge other people who do, especially if they're not getting drunk. If they just sit down, they're grilling out and they want to have a beer, let them have a beer. I don't have any problem with it.
That could be one of the instances where drinking is wrong for you too. If that's a problem for you consistently,
absolutely,
you get rough and angry when you drink, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
He who knows the good they ought to do and does not do it sins. If you know that you shouldn't drink and you drink, then you're sinning.
Yeah, because you know what you're going to do. You know you can't stop. You know you can't control it.
Right, because your God-defined conscience is telling you you can't do this.
Yes.
Even though you have liberty to do it, according to Paul, it's not beneficial for you. You can't control it. You're a slave to it. You don't need to be doing it. That's the biblical text about it. And I get so frustrated when people are like, well, you shouldn't drink a beer, and then you're going to go to their church, and everybody's speaking in tongues at the same time.
What, there wasn't just 3 with translators?
Well, you look at, the Bible really doesn't say prohibit just drinking it at all, but it does prohibit just going to a church, literally all hell break loose within the service.
Yeah.
But that fact, they don't pay attention. That's not that big a deal.
Yeah, they glaze over that.
It's exactly what Jesus said with the Pharisees. You strain out of that and swallow a camel. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
When you get bent out of shape about a beer in the fridge of one of your friends that goes to church with you, but you're not bent out of shape about your gossip and your dissension and your anger and your unforgiveness and all that stuff, you're missing the point. You're missing it. And I don't know who needed to hear that. Maybe, I don't know. Shutup Cameron, he has a lot of bitterness.
Well, the only other thing you had to mention Sunday night
he's a liberal, so he's probably apt to get drunk and beat his wife up.
Yeah. I think that's what most...
But she owns a Jeep, so that means she's probably a lesbian. And can handle herself.
Oh, she's... I have no doubt if Cameron tried to beat his wife... You're not a lesbian. She's beating his rear end. That's what's happening.
Because the only people who drive Jeeps are lesbians. Except for Jamie. You're not one. So.
Didn't you drive a Jeep?
Huh?
Didn't you drive a Jeep?
I sold it and bought a Hummer.
You redeemed yourself.
I redeemed myself.
Man.
No, I bought a Corvette.
Same difference.
I'm 55. Once you hit 55, you got to get a Corvette.
Still man.
That's a rule.
Yeah, that's the rule, man. You just do. So Paul says in 1 Corinthians 10, my liberty should not be judged by another's conscience. And that's true. That's our kind of our view here at the Broalition.
Yeah.
As long as the Bible does not prohibit it, as long as you're not addicted to it or slave to it, then you have liberty. But then again, your liberty should not cause another brother to stumble.
And like you said Sunday night, that word conscience, that's conviction.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
So if you are personally convicted by something, no matter what it is, whether it's drinking or whether it's whatever, if you're personally convicted, then you doing it is wrong.
And there was a period in my life where I was personally convicted by it. I didn't do it, and I was justified in not doing it.
But you weren't justified in telling other people they couldn't.
Right. But now I'm not convicted by it anymore.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't bother me. And
it probably wasn't conviction, honestly, before. It was probably fear for what people would think.
Yeah.
I went, when I was in college, one of the last days I'm getting ready to graduate, and there was a volleyball tournament with the fraternities, and our team was really good with the Baptist Student Union. And the nerd hangout. And we were really good. We had some athletes there. And so they invited us to play in their tournament and stuff like that. And they had a party that night. So I went there. And then the next night, I'm speaking at the Baptist Student Union meeting. I go there and they have a keg.
Nice. The Baptist?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is a party. Fraternity.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We were the Broalition Student Union. So we had a keg there.
That's awesome.
So I go there and I get the red cups out and I have some and I have a little too many. I do. And so I get ready to speak the next night and I'm just like, I boo-hoo through the entire thing. I'm just a despicable, worthy, and I didn't do anything. I got done. I said, man, I've had too much to drink. I walked back to my apartment and went to bed. But I got up there and I just knew that they were just sitting there going, oh my gosh, we had such big hopes for him. And now I made I did something, but nothing happened this time, Lee.
Oh gosh.
But then I look back on it and I think, you know what? I don't know if that was really I don't know if I was being convicted by God or convicted by my peers.
Yeah, I think it was your peers. Yeah.
Yeah, I was convicted because they're all sitting there going,
yeah.
You know, they're so disappointed.
As they did it too.
Mm-hmm.
As they did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know all the girls in there were sleeping around with, guys in the group because those guys would tell me. They were having sex within the group. That was okay. But Lee getting drunk, that's a bad thing. I hope none of them watch the show. I won't name names. But that's what was going on and so I don't know. People think that I've become more liberal. And I haven't.
It's not liberal. It's biblical.
It is. I've become more biblical about it.
Yeah.
And that's what and so when you get these people within your church, you kind of start, if I can give you some advice as a pastor who's been doing this for a long time, and Mike's been with me from the beginning here, and don't walk on eggshells around people who are going to destroy your church. Mm-hmm. And so when you get these legalistic people in, just tell them exactly what you think. It'll just save yourself some heartache down the road.
Yes, it will.
Don't be afraid to preach on things. Don't be afraid to talk about things that may be controversial just because you're afraid of losing people in the seats. Because chances are you have like a 95% chance, and this is for every church in America, you're going to lose them anyway.
Yeah, they're going to find something.
They're going to find something. Just go ahead and just be honest with them and tell the truth about it. And we had a guy who, a long time ago, who would come to church and claim to know everything there is to know in the Bible, would argue with people in the Bible studies, and only knowledge that he had was from his commentaries. Come to church, leave church, come to church, leave church, come to church, leave church. And I'm just in the middle of a sermon one day, and I know that he's going to get ticked off if I talk about drinking, so I just said, I'm going to talk about it. And he left and didn't come back. But I'm to the point as a pastor to where I'm not going to walk on eggshells around people who are not going to participate and serve within the church just to keep their butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And here's what we believe. You can accept it. If you don't like it, you can talk to me about it and stuff like that. But our churches, we don't talk about. This stuff needs to be talked about. Mm-hmm. Because this puts people under bondage that shouldn't be under bondage.
Absolutely.
It does.
Once again, it goes back to people viewing it as a book of don'ts.
Well, think about how many people, especially guys, who have left churches because we said you can't have one beer when you're grilling out. Mm-hmm. How many have we lost? Millions.
Yeah, because they're going to go, well, forget you.
Guys are going to be like, well, screw this.
Guys don't like to be told what to do anyway.
Exactly.
And
like, suck it, I'm out of here.
Say yes. You found it. Okay.
Yeah, I found it. So, I'm not saying you have beer to bring guys in, but if you had a keg, it'd work on Sunday morning. I mean, you're doing everything else to entice them to come. Might as well do something like that.
No, we went full circle. We talked about that weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We've come around to it. But that's all we have to say on that issue. Are we done?
Yeah, you pretty well laid it out there, so
yeah,
there shouldn't be any questions about that.
And we may lose some people because of our stance on this.
Yeah.
But it is a stance. I feel very strongly about this. I feel very strongly about my right to be able to do a keg headstand. Or keg stand. What do they call it?
Keg stand.
Keg stand.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you try that.
I couldn't.
I would like to just see the headstand.
You don't
period.
have to do it on the keg, just on the floor.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. Yeah, I could do a headstand.
Period. Sweet Tony and Cameron holding your legs up.
I couldn't do it.
I can see it now.
I couldn't do it. My belly would come over my face and suffocate me. I can't do it. Like I said, I hope that if you do disagree, that maybe if you know how to find me or anybody else here, we can have a reasonable discussion about this. But if you don't want to listen to us because of this, oh, God bless you.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Because it's just the way we feel about this. Because I think we put too much bondage upon people. People got saved to be freed from sin, and then we put them right back into bondage with the things that we believe that are not biblical.
And like I said, that goes right back into men don't like church. Well, this is part of the reason men don't like church. It's not just this. There's thousands of other things.
Right.
But you sit there and you tell a guy, well, the things that you view as manly and the things you like to do, well, you can't do them now.
Yeah.
That's going to turn men off.
I think it's interesting when I talk about this stuff, and just to see people almost get liberated. It's when you do a biblical explanation of it, and people are just like, wow.
They never heard that before.
They never heard that before because they just grew up in the church where it's like drinking's bad. Nobody can give you an explanation why it's bad according to the Bible.
Yeah.
Somebody told them once.
Told them once. And I understand there's bad things that can happen from it. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. But we always talk about, the couple that wants to go out. And by the way, your pastor, when he goes on vacation, it's Margaritaville. Yeah. He'll deny it. He'll lie to you. But, buddy.
Yes, sir.
He's like, bring me the one that's got the Corona bottle sticking out on top of it. That's what he's doing. When he got Puerto Vallarta, he's partying, man.
Yep.
But you won't see a picture of it.
You won't see a picture of it.
No.
They don't take, the pastor and his wife, because I know the pastor, when the pastor's wife goes out, first thing she's doing when she's on vacation, bring me the biggest bottle of wine you have and a straw.
Yeah, we were out 5 years ago. We were in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? And we suffered from that same thing. Yes, we had some beverages in Mexico. And every time there was a camera around, we're like, hey, get that out of here. Get that out of here. This might get back to church.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not like that anymore, but no.
Yeah.
Not anymore. We wear the hats with the two beer cans in the side of them.
Just saying, we're not hiding it.
No, but there's a difference. We don't promote it.
No. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
It's individual liberty and freedom in Christ.
Absolutely.
There's more important things you need to be doing. The fact that you haven't shared the gospel with anybody in the entire history of your Christianity should be a bigger issue to you, whether or not we're drinking beer. Mm-hmm. The fact that you gossip, spread dissension within your church, the fact that your church that you've attended for many years, you don't do anything there, should be a bigger issue to you. Mm-hmm. There's more important things to worry about. And so on that bombshell, we'll end. We have nobody left anymore.
They've all gone.
We've ran everybody off.
Actually, I believe we probably gained a couple off of that one.
We may have.
I think we did.
I don't think there's any legalists left.
Especially since I got all sorts of terms I can put in the tags this week.
There's no legalists left, I would say. We've gotten rid of all the legalists.
But our numbers haven't went down. So. Our numbers haven't went down.
No? That's good. Okay, so we're getting people, and we're getting people who... our little ministry here is just to try to tell people what the Bible actually says, and try to free people from this bondage that the Southern Baptists and other denominations have put them in. And the Southern Baptist Church, you guys aren't drinking, but you're embracing critical race theory.
Oh my gosh,
which is just as bad, and it's worse. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's worse than all that.
Worse.
And so. So we're going to stop. Before I get in trouble, I feel myself, I can sense myself.
It's rising.
Yeah, I can sense myself getting ready to go over the edge and say something I shouldn't say. So we love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for sticking with us, especially through these tough things that we talk about. We're going to talk about more of them. We're not afraid to talk. We're going to talk about women pastors and all that stuff.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, we're not afraid to talk about these things. Somebody, like I said, you need the bad boys talking about that stuff. So you can point your finger at us and say, I don't like them, but you secretly agree. Because somebody needs to hear. Somebody needs to hear this stuff. Yep. So we love you guys. God bless you. Continue to pray for us. And like we said from the very beginning, like, share, subscribe, all those cool things. God bless you guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
The Gospel Broalition is done, leaving behind charred minds, exhaust fumes, ammo, multiple cigar wrappers, and an empty bottle
the other night.
of bourbon.
I hear this.
Mission accomplished. You've been listening to the Gospel Broalition with Pastor Lee, J.R. Robinson,
Jamez, and Lindsay.
A show for men, by men. If it's religion, politics,
but he's right about that. We look like wild men.
Cigars.
I never thought about that, but we look like
we're
JR had a
talking
gun.
about it. We hope you
like
enjoyed
Bob.
the show.
He's
we know we had fun.
I
We'll
was
be back
calm.
soon.
See
And
that
thank
notice I had my
you for
earbuds
being
in?
a part.
You know what I should have said? It
of
said
the
like Tony
Gospel
behind it.
Broalition.
Tony's not kneeling down. That's his actual height.
He's a midget.
And he's not aiming that gun at Mike.
Right.